Steph Bokuye is a blockchain expert. I caught up with her recently and I started by asking her what blockchain is all about. Enjoy the chat. Steph, welcome to Tech Trends.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us, what is blockchain?
Blockchain is a chain of blocks to start with. Okay, now what's in the block? Right, information, data. Now distribution, simply shared ledger, a shared ledger. So a ledger is a record of transactions. So blockchain is a technology that records a shared transaction. Now within a ledger, we usually have not just money in, money out. We have the name of the person, we have the date, we have time. So it's not just about sharing money around or anything like that. It also has the information and data of the people involved. So blockchain is that technology that allows you to share those in a permanent, in a verifiable, and in an efficient way.
Now, so what is the difference between Bitcoin and blockchain?
Bitcoin is an innovation of blockchain technology. It's only a small part of blockchain technology and the applications of blockchain technology. So Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. Blockchain technology is a huge form of technology that has so many more applications rather than just a cryptocurrency. I have realized so many times when I say blockchain, people say cryptocurrency. No, it's only a tiny part of blockchain technology.
A number of experts will argue that blockchain in itself is not entirely safe. How would you react to that?
That in itself is a confusion, because I think if you understand what blockchain technology is, then you wouldn't say it's not safe. So you need to understand what it is in the first place. One thing people need to understand is that blockchain technology itself has never been hacked. Never been hacked, the technology in itself. Now, you must have heard about scams within currencies. That is not the technology in itself.
So now, do you think that a country like Nigeria is ready for blockchain?
Absolutely. Tell you why. We have the youngest population there is around the world or around Africa, and that is to double in 2045. Huge young population. The mobile penetration we have is amazing. We have about 160 million plus mobile penetration subscribers. We also have resources. All of these things are the right places to apply blockchain technology, because you have seamless supply chain. You know, you have faster remittances with regards to money transfers. You know, you have things like verification of IDs, so you don't get fake IDs and things like that, or any sort of fraudulent transactions, because with blockchain, once you apply it, it's immutable. You can't change it. It's an ever-growing list.
So would you describe blockchain as a foundational technology or a disruptive technology?
Definitely disruptive. It changes things. It's a game changer. That's what's being called. It's a new form of the internet as opposed to Web 2.0. Blockchain is now looking at Web 3.0. So we're moving away from things like Facebook, Amazon, things like Google, Instagram, to a technology of value, which is Web 3.0, Internet of Things, blockchain technology.
Can you share some use cases of how this technology would work in Nigeria?
Okay, so health records. Okay, so there are so many people that have complained that when they go into hospitals, they have so many paperworks. You know, that, you have loads of paperwork, and sometimes you can't find your health records. Now you can enter a health record into a blockchain system, for example, and it's immutable. You can always find your health records. Education, for example, certification. That's a huge use case for employers to be able to be on the blockchain network and to be able to actually find whatever certification they're looking for if it's been entered by universities, because it's immutable, and you can actually find all of these certificates. You have IDs, for example. You have pensions. You have food, supply chain, cyber security in itself. Funny that you say something about people not being able to trust the blockchain itself, when within blockchain is cyber security in itself. So,
okay, I get you, but how cost effective would it be deploying this solution in a country like Nigeria?
How cost effective is it to be deployed everywhere else around the world? I mean, we spend a lot of money going through a lot of paperwork. Say, for example, you were someone that planted a seed, you're a farmer in the village, and you have these farmers that have to do a lot of shipping things from one place to the other, paying agents from one place to the other to the marketplace, or if they have to export and import and so on and so forth. Blockchain just makes it a lot cheaper, easier, and faster. Also, you have to understand that it's also underpinned by peer-to-peer technology, which means that you can trade between two people without middlemen involved. So definitely that has to be more cost effective than having a lot of middlemen along the way. So yes, it's way cheaper, and yes, we have so much to do in Africa that if we were to introduce a peer-to-peer form of payment or form of transaction, it would be a lot cheaper.
From experience, are there African countries deploying blockchain at the moment?
You had BitPesa in Kenya, and then you had Sierra Leone that tried to apply the blockchain technology in the voting elections. Now, one thing you also need to understand is that the world as a whole is grappling with blockchain technology and how to apply it, not just the currency form, but the applications, the use cases in itself is what people want to understand how to. And why should we wait for other African countries to apply it first? Why don't we be the first people that actually start it? I mean, we are, I would claim, the biggest economy in Africa. We have a huge population. We have a young demographic. So why wait for other African countries? Why shouldn't we do it first?
It will be interesting to know how soon blockchain will become mainstream.
Taking it mainstream, 22 countries in Europe signed a pact 2 weeks ago with regards to coming together and understanding the strategies behind blockchain technology and how to apply it. So yes, it is mainstream. If 22 countries can come together and say, we're going to sign something and find out how we're going to deal with this and how we apply it in use cases, then it's mainstream and we need to get on board.
What industries do you think will be affected by the blockchain technology?
Probably the banking sector, which is one of the most traditional industries, smart contracts, the law sector and contracts. You know, we do agreements all the time. You know, we make agreements business to business, person to person. So you have smart contracts within the blockchain. You also have health records, verifying health records, IDs, passports. There are so many.
Finally, how can we get more young Nigerians to become blockchain developers?
We would like the state government and the federal government to get involved. Blockchain developers, I can say to you, are very scarce right now. So it would be nice to have an ecosystem of blockchain developers so that those that already know can teach the younger ones, and even those that have learned before. The blockchain application system is a little different. It's not that difficult, but it's a little different. So I would like the government to get involved, both the federal and the state governments. We have youth unemployment, and I think it's a great time for us to train our youths in this field.
Thank you, Steph, for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
That was Steph Mekuye, CEO ICA Consult, who believes that blockchain can be used to solve some of our most pressing challenges. Now that's our show for today. Please follow us on social media, and don't forget, you can watch this and previous edition of the show on the Channels TV YouTube account or via cfablog.ng. For Tech Trends, I'm Chukwuemeka Agbata.